Thank you, Ashok. Very good morning to all of you. Dr. Ramaswamy, my colleague at CII, Mr. Devatia. Friends, I'm going to be rather brief here this morning and not go into too much of technicalities, and Ashok has touched upon some of these issues. But let me talk about my views of what is knowledge and what is knowledge management. I think our country really has a place in destiny in the knowledge trade initiative, which should mean all products and services that knowledge can produce should rightfully belong to this country. Having missed out on several industrial revolutions of the past, this is one which we cannot let go. This country needs to therefore base itself as a society which will be led by knowledge, will be propelled further by knowledge, and can deliver through technological interventions knowledge across the country. But it's very important, therefore, that we also apply our mind towards managing this knowledge. Let's just go back into time, into history. This country usually has been very poor with managing a lot of things, including knowledge. This is a country which has produced some wonderful innovations when technology was less known to the world. However, over a period of centuries, we have frittered away that advantage one by one, and those pieces of knowledge were very aptly and appropriately picked up by the Western world, managed it well, and then went on to create huge economic successes around the globe. Some of those pieces rightfully belonged to India. Now, we cannot make this mistake one more time, that when the whole clock has turned and the cycle has come back to those countries which will be knowledge-based, which will lead their countries through knowledge, that we let this one more opportunity fritter away. CII's theme this year is Building People, Building India. And we believe that you will build people through parts of what Mr. Suta said on educating our hundreds of millions of children, more importantly, providing skill sets to those who will never make it to a school. And incidentally, out of the 300-odd million people or children in this country today, in the age group of 6 to 16, nearly 250 to 260 million will never go to a school or will drop out in the very first year of their joining a school. These 25, 26 crores, 250 to 60 million children in 10 years' time will be knocking very hard at the doors of our society to be seeking a participation in the economy, in the communities that we live in. And for that, we will need to create a massive program of skill set development, a massive program to assimilate them into this knowledge society that we want to develop going forward. And that's a big task, and we at CII are working very, very closely with several government agencies, not always going in the right way, but we are breaking barriers and trying to make the government realize the magnitude of the problem that this country is going to face in 10 years' time. These children from 6 to 16 will be 16 to 26 in the age when they can either become national assets or they could actually spell trouble for our country. So we are at CII determined, and I'm pleased to report that the government, and including the Prime Minister himself, is deeply engaged with creating an environment where everybody can seek knowledge to the potential that they have, or perhaps more. Now, what will we do? Hopefully we'll get this right, but what will we do with this knowledge? We need to ensure that we have an environment where knowledge is captured, where databases are created, where access to these databases is available, and we can ensure that the entire community at large can participate in these data banks, these vital banks, to deliver products and services. I have been to Russia, and I can tell you that that society has managed to harness their knowledge very well. In fact, if you go to the right to the apex bodies, places like Soviet Academy of Sciences, they've done it very well. But they missed out on one very vital piece, that was of marketing their knowledge-based products and services. I think that is where India will now need to ensure that as it develops these products and services on the back of knowledge, it has the right linkages to the world through marketing programs as well. Let me therefore pick up one or two anecdotes from my own organization, Airtel. For a long period of time, we ran 23 companies within a company. The country is divided into 23 circles, and each of these circles is run by a CEO. And we were developing massive amounts of knowledge-based products and projects, but they were being done in isolation in each one of these circles. So knowledge-based excellence coming in one part of the country was not necessarily being transferred to the other side. We faced this in a very massive way, and we realized that if we have to deliver experience to our customer in a holistic manner, this cannot be acceptable. And I must say I was touched upon very deeply by the experience of some of the other service industry in how they were managing their knowledge bases. If you would go to a Jet Airways counter in Mumbai or in Delhi, which are large cities, or you go to a small town called Renugunta, if you were to travel to Tirupati, small little airport, the look, feel, touch of that counter of Jet Airways was absolutely identical. They were managing their knowledge very well across the country to ensure that the touch points for customers were absolutely the same. Because when you see those golden arches of a McDonald's burger house anywhere in the world, you immediately connect to it and you expect what you want from it and you always get it. That's the power of how you manage your knowledge and transfer it across the globe. And we had to do this within our company, the 23 circles. And in 2002, we announced a major initiative sponsored right from the top to launch knowledge management within the organization. It has been 5 years. I won't say it's a done deal, but to a very large extent, we have been able to pull these 23 circles together on a single knowledge platform now. It hasn't been easy, and this is something we will have to struggle on a larger basis within our own society and community. Not invented here syndrome is a big issue in this country. If I have not produced this particular product or service or a practice, I'm not going to easily welcome it because somebody else did it first. Now that's a mindset we had to fight within the organization. I would say we have largely overcome that. I wouldn't say you can never fully overcome it, which has allowed us to do 8,000 common projects. 6,000 projects are underway, which are common within our services. And that, to my mind, is the power of what you can do through knowledge management. The tangible result has been 100 crore saving due to those projects where duplication, triplication, in our case, many times overwork has been avoided. And now it has become a way of life. You also need very good tools to do this. So I would say thousands of man hours were spent with IBM to create a fourth generation tool for Bharti Airtel. And we have now a tool which is called Insights at Airtel, which ensures that we have a common platform to pull all the knowledge pieces and bases that are needed to be pulled together to work as one unified company. Companies of tomorrow which will be winning in the marketplace are the companies which will be able to mine the deep insights of all their human assets onto a single platform in a simple way so that the entire organization can benefit from that without demur. And I personally believe what Ashok has kicked off here today, and I know he's been feverishly following this across the country, will start a culture of how to manage the knowledge that we are going to develop in this country. If this country has to be successful, it will have to do this very well. We have not handled our past, our treasures of the past very well. We are bad in warehousing things. We are terrible in preserving things as a nation. But for the sake of future, what has been lost has been lost. But for the sake of future, knowledge will have to be managed. And will have to be managed very well. Otherwise, friends, we will be sitting at a catastrophe of proportions that our future generations will never be able to forgive us. We need to therefore start a culture within each of your organizations, each one of your ecosystems, outside companies and the communities that we live in, so that people start valuing this particular piece and make it as a part of their life to ensure that knowledge is important, but knowledge management becomes even more important. So good luck with this conference. I wish you the very best.